following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, and Shannon Gross.
Tuesday at the Star in Frisco, hanging with the boys.
Oh,
What's up,
good.
boys?
Feeling good. Good.
I think I screwed up
Uh-oh. Again?
by shaving this head the week that we beat the Giants. Now I got to keep it going,
Man.
right?
Nah, not necessarily. I don't
No.
believe in the superstition. I don't play no more, so there ain't no more superstition.
No? Were you superstitious when you played?
Yeah.
Yeah? What were some big superstitions you had?
Oh, man, I can't even remember them now because I don't even care no more about superstitions. I tell folks, yeah, because if you get to thinking one way and become just overwhelmed with, I got to do it this way, and if it don't go that way,
Yeah.
you know, if something go out of line, all of a sudden now your whole day threw off because so you got to go into a game and face somebody like Short, K1
Yeah.
Short, and your day ain't right.
Can't let
so
just
you better get rid of
because you got the wrong pair of socks,
on.
you know.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't block K1. Oh my God, tell the quarterback, look out. Oh man, you ain't got the right color Tommy John's on. Come on, man.
Speaking of, I got us a gift later this week
Ooh, look at you.
from Tommy John hooked us up. So we'll
You love Tommy John.
Thursday or Friday. I might bring those presents.
Yeah,
to you boys.
we've been hooked up with 888-855-2299.
Oh, later in the show, we're going to have a special guest. So if you want to talk football or wrestling, Mickie James.
Is it wrestling or wrestling?
We'll ask Mickie when she gets here. WWE Superstar Mickie James will be on the show.
Did she wrestle last night here? Is that
She
the
did.
deal?
She wrestled at Raw last night.
How'd that go?
I don't know. We'll ask
She
her.
wrestling Raw. What you mean wrestling?
Oh,
So WWE has a program every Monday night. It's called Raw.
Oh, okay. I
and
thought
they
you said
broadcast.
she wrestling Raw.
No.
I'm like, what in the
Whoa,
world?
maybe we'll ask her that too.
I won't be asking her.
Did you ever
that
watch
either.
wrestling growing up?
Man, Thunderbolt Patterson.
Boy, that's old
Yeah,
school.
that let you know Gordon Soley.
Yeah,
The Funk Brothers.
the Funk brother Terry and
Yeah.
Gordy. Was it Gordy Funk?
Dusty Rhodes, baby. American Dream.
Yep. Dusty Rhodes.
Briscoe Brothers.
Man. So Nate knows a little about wrestling.
I know nothing.
Kurt,
I'm
you ever
sorry.
watch wrestling?
The
Nah,
Georgia Thump.
never got into it.
See, I was into Mid-South wrestling. The Grappler, Junkyard
Yeah.
Dog,
Yeah.
Great Kamala.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Ernie Ladd.
Oh, big man. What was the guy? He used to be, Iron Sheik.
Oh, dude, there's
The
a
Iron Sheik, but it was all right to be Iranian in
dude.
the country.
There's a documentary on Netflix called The Sheik or just Sheik. It is so interesting. He was a
Yeah.
bodyguard for the Ayatollah
Yeah.
Really?
and was on
He
the
was really a
Iranian
Oh, I thought
national
that was just
wrestler.
all a made
No,
up.
he was Iranian
Yeah.
national wrestler, and then he got scared for his life because of all the craziness that was going on, and he moved to the States and became a pro wrestler.
Wow.
Iron Sheik.
I just assumed that was some made up identity.
Man,
thought
he used
so,
to
too.
go around, man.
Oh yeah, he was awesome. All right, we got to talk football. 'Cause when Mickie gets here, we can talk wrestling.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, Douglas, do you have those? You still have the clips of about Tavon?
I
loaded
do.
up? Could you play those two? I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, let me bring them up
All
here.
right.
So vamp for just a moment.
Sure, man. What? Yeah, I think I'm gonna shave it one more time at least, Kurt.
You think so?
And I might keep
don't
it
know.
going. You said it's
Yeah.
gonna be what, spring?
That's my assumption. I don't know for sure. I just hope it comes back. That's my big worry.
Yeah,
It will.
I think it will.
I hope.
You got a good looking bald head. I'm getting.
I do not, but thank you.
Hey, I predicted that, Kurt. I told you that it's going to be fine.
It's symmetrical.
No,
Yeah.
it's that. It's just bad color.
It's white.
It's white.
It's
white
very,
as a sheet.
It's very white.
It's like blinding people
What
on
are you
this.
laughing at, Nate?
If it comes back, if we don't, we still love you.
Yeah,
No,
we do.
thank you. I'm glad.
We do.
I'm glad my how you feel about me is based solely on my hair.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Tavon Austin.
All right, load it up.
It's Jason first, and then I'll give you Dak as well, back to back.
Okay.
He's a big-time playmaker, and we've said this all along. You can put him in a lot of different spots. You can line him up outside as a receiver, in the slot. You can put him in the backfield. He can do a lot of different things for you, and that's part of the package of plays we have for him. We try to have a package of plays for a lot of different guys to play to their strength.
Yeah, he had a great night. We knew we were going to go at him early. That was the plan. Coming off of that play action, he just won clean. He took the inside release and put his head down and dug, and then I was just able to get the ball out there. He just made my job easy there, and it showed off his speed. And then once again in reverse, come back late in the game. He was just all around the field making plays everywhere.
So your head coach and your quarterback think this guy's a playmaker. Why is he not getting more involved in the offense?
He will. He will.
Yeah, that was a
I think
question.
they're smart
for
enough to make it. I think.
Are they just making sure they can trust him? Is that what they're doing? Why are they going slow?
No.
No, don't get mad at me today.
No. This is the second game. The first game, who got any balls?
Right.
It's this. You go right where I need to go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
I
Let me ask you this right here. Who is Russell Wilson?
Oh, last night.
Coming for Seattle Seahawks.
Last night he wasn't nobody
This
special.
question I thought about all night that you asked me about running into safeties. I thought about it all night. I'm like, Kurt asked me this question. I tried to explain. Look at Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
2-time Super Bowl guy. 1-time champion. 1-time loss.
Mm-hmm.
He has no help.
None.
He's getting hit almost every play.
Sacked 6 times.
Even when he hand the ball off to the running back, somebody like to hit this kid. How long you think he's gonna last?
He's in for a tough season.
Because he's not a big guy.
Yeah, and I think just 2.5 years ago, this guy was it.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's still it, but he has no help. He has to take off and run. Sometimes you have to run guys, Kurt. Sometimes you have to run guys over. Sometimes he can slide. But how do you look at this guy? And so that leaves me, this is Dak, 3rd year. How do you look at him? Tell me, when you look at our quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, how do you look at him? Where do you think he's at in his maturity as a quarterback?
Maturity? I think he's the intangibles of being a leader. I think he's outstanding at that. I think the team follows him. I think he's good at that. I think he's still learning from I don't know if it's talent-wise as far as, reads and throwing deep and hitting. Yeah, I think he's still learning there. That's a work in progress for sure. But I like what I see. I like having Dak as a quarterback for sure. I just hope he can keep improving, keep taking the next step.
How about you, my brother?
I think he's definitely a leader, and he's what I really like about him is more the kind of off-field stuff. He always says the right thing, and I think it's calculated, and those guys I think respect him in that locker room. When he's in the locker room, whenever, I've seen before when our locker room's open and there's media in there were guys that aren't in there. He's in there. He's, he may not talk, but on a certain day of the week, but he's in there. And then on the field, I think he's, a work in progress. But the one thing that he does is he doesn't turn the ball over. And I think as long as he does that and he keeps getting a little bit better and he's learning and, he's got a new receiving core, and we talked about, is it going to hurt him that he didn't get to play preseason? I think maybe that hurt him a little bit, and he's trying to catch up and get timing with these guys and trust these guys and know where they're going to be. But I don't have any problems with Dak. I don't have any, I loved Romo when he was here. I loved the style of game that he played.
Do you think that he can drop back and throw the ball?
Drop back?
Like drop back, 3-step, 5-step, 7-step, drop back. Can you think that he can do that?
Yeah, I think he can do it. I think he's still learning, quick reads, and he's missing guys for sure. But he's right now, in particular, his best game, I think, is that threat of the run.
Waggling out, waggles and all that, getting outside,
bootlegs,
sprint, bootlegs, all that. So, see, y'all remember his first year? He not only bootlegged out, he not only waggled out, he not only sprinted out. Y'all remember he dropped back and threw the ball?
Mm-hmm.
this is what I try to tell people. And even Brody said, well, I love that he ran, and I love that he did this, and I love that he did that. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. And this is why I take for granted that everybody should know this. If you eventually can't drop back and throw the ball, eventually you ain't going to be playing long.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
the best quarterbacks do that. I mean, that's
say it again. Say it with a little more confidence.
That's what the best quarterbacks do. Rodgers, Brady, those guys. They're
so,
drop back quarterbacks.
Whether you're a good leader, or whether guys will follow you or not, ain't going to matter if you can't drop back and throw the ball. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. You see this kid right here? Last night, I'm watching this game, Trubisky. All night long, he need to set his feet. He need to do this and that. Well, this is second year, and this is really his first year of playing and starting. I hope they give him an opportunity. Fellas, if our quarterback, if he can't eventually, which I think he can, sit back, drop back, and when given time, set his feet, and throw and make completions, we wasting our time. Because you never want to take the threat of his running away. And that's why I tell people, my man Cam, let's go back to the first game. Cam hurt us. Mm-hmm. He hurt us in the first half, running that ball. He made us look bad. But if you go back and look at the game in the second half, when they needed to have some drives completed, what did he do? He did not run. He dropped back, stood tall, and made some completions. And now, I tell people, quit listening to idiots. Because if you don't believe that this kid, and I'm being honest, if you don't believe that this kid can drop back, 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop, and take his reads and find a open man, we are wasting our time. Because running, they're going to kill this kid at Seattle. They done gave this dude hundreds of millions of dollars, and they finna get him killed. And I thought about that all that, and I'm like, wow. A Super Bowl quarterback with no offensive line and virtually no defense. Mm-hmm. If we don't kill them cats, man, when we go up to Seattle,
So what do you think? Do you think he can drop back?
I think he can do it because if Coach, look at this guy. This is where, and coaches don't have to be the coaches don't have to be creative the way everybody wants them to be creative, but you do have to be smart in your protections. You do have to be smart in how you set up things. And I tell you, man, McNabb. Now, you may not – you remember McNabb. You 45.
Yep.
McNabb, he was raw. Now, he was a first-round pick coming out of Syracuse. Am I correct, Syracuse? But he was raw. And you saw how –
Syracuse.
And you saw how – Andy Reid brought him along. Even Jeff Fisher, who I ain't got no love for, did with Aaron McNair, Steve McNair. Steve McNair was rawer than our guy is right now, but he brought him along. If your quarterback, and if you don't see your quarterback as a guy that can drop back and eventually start throwing out of the pocket, it's over, man.
Yeah. Well, they must think he can, and I think he can. I mean, he's shown a little bit of that.
McNair he was closer to being a pure passer.
Yeah, he could throw now. When he was at Alcorn, he threw it. I think it was Alcorn State. He threw it now, but it's just with the way we was talking yesterday. Everybody thought I was upset, but I'm not upset. It's just when you're talking about a quarterback, especially a quarterback that's still young in his career. By you being a Dallas Cowboys don't automatically make you a stud. By being a Dallas Cowboy automatically comes with pressure. It automatically comes with high expectations. But we go out, not only change our offensive, we go to 5 new receivers or 4 new receivers. We go to a new receiver coach. You know, so all of these things, now when we play Detroit, we should be clicking.
Yeah.
Speaking of receivers, isn't there a report out there, Kurt?
Yeah, apparently the Cowboys have signed Bryce Butler.
Yeah.
And they released safety Tyree Robinson. So they're going to have 7 receivers on the roster.
Mr. Stephen Jones said it.
I
wouldn't have believed it, but he said it.
I may be bad luck.
Why's that?
Because on the return flight from Houston, they stuck me in between 2 players, Trey Williams and Tyree Robinson.
Wow.
Both gone. Guess what? I'm stuck between you 2 guys on the show.
And you gone.
Yeah.
And you gone, bro. Going back up to the booth with your other boss.
Let's go to the phones real quick. Adrian in Melbourne, not Australia, but Melbourne, Florida. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great.
Good to see you guys. Kurt, Shannon, Nate. Hey, man, I listened to the show yesterday, and I was just a little upset with the tone that people had. We got that W. And it was a good W. The defense looked great.
Thank you.
Like I said, I called in after the Panthers game, and I said no need to be alarmed. The defense looks good. We still got 2 monsters sitting out there that's about to come back, Gregory and Irvin. And, you know, Awuzie and Jones look really good out there, you know, guarding ODB. But, you know, we got that pressure we need to Eli. And the offense got moving. Did you see Dak put his foot in the ground and juke that linebacker? He did what he had to do. Like I said earlier in Tony's career, man, he had to put it on his legs and feet a lot until we got settled and we finally got an offensive line that he could work with. Like I said, man, that's just my thoughts. One other comment. Back in the days, we used to have a 3-headed monster running backs, Julius Jones, Felix, and Marion Barber. You think later down the road when Zeke or, you know, we may ever go back to that because we used to beat them up with Felix and Julius and then have Marion finish them off late in the game, you know, after everybody got tired legs. Like I said, man, I always enjoy the show. That's my 2 cents. And it looks like we're starting to play a little bit of chess instead of checkers. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Adrian.
Nice. I think you got one bell cow running back. You got to roll with him.
You're not built like you used to be.
Yep. And they don't have that battering ram Marion Barber type on the roster.
Yeah, they do.
Who? Zeke?
Scarborough? Yeah.
Come on, man. You can package them dudes all 3 of them all day at any round you want, and they still won't equal to Zeke. You can package all 3 of them. All 3 of them.
Yeah.
And they still won't equal to Zeke. All 3 of them.
Say that one more time.
In any round. You can make them the first 3 players picked, and they still won't equal to Zeke.
What do you guys, let's switch gears a little bit. What did you guys think? We didn't get into this yesterday because we got stuck on offense, but what did you think about the defense? Is the secondary looking that good, or is the line looking that good that's making the secondary look that good, or is the whole unit playing really well together? I know they complement each other. If you have a good front 7, your secondary is going to play good and vice versa, but what'd you guys see?
Man, just nice.
Yeah, it was great to see the blitzes, I thought, and maybe that was just because they knew the Giants couldn't handle them, but it was nice to bring a little bit more pressure, which in turn, I mean, the back end, you know what, they held Beckham to 50, whatever, 4 catches for 51 yards, something like that.
Kurt, I'm with you too, man, but you know what? It's nowhere in the world I wouldn't have threw Beckham 80 passes.
So you're not saying that's our defense? That was Giants' offense?
No. It was our defense. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. But me as an offensive coordinator, or me as a wide receiver coach, and you as the offensive coordinator, every time you look at me, every time if we sitting in a meeting and you sitting over there and this is the head coach, I would be like, every time you look up, I'll be like, and you eventually ask me, what? And I'm going to say, Odell Beckham.
Right.
Can we get him the ball 85 times? I'm serious, man. Yeah. People telling me, well, maybe they didn't have time. Well, all the other passes you threw to all the other guys, throw them right to him. You throwing him to this guy coming out of the backfield.
Isn't that like a running back, though, where you can load up? If you want to stop a running back, you can load up and stop him. Can't you shut down a receiver?
Man, we had him a lot one-on-one outside.
Yeah.
A lot.
Byron
Man.
Jones had a good game, I thought.
No.
No?
Brother. Odell Beckham is. Where do you rate him as a receiver?
Top 2.
Give me your top 5 receivers.
Yeah, he's in.
Top 2 or 3.
And even if you make him number 5, I'm still throwing him the ball 80 times again. I did not understand that you threw to the running back coming out of the backfield 35 times.
Set a record for receptions in that game.
Something like that, yeah.
I tell you what, you weren't there. Odell went around pregame and shook damn near every kid on the sideline's hand, whether they had a Cowboys Zeke jersey on or not. Yeah, that's
cool.
I'm going to tell you something, man. Our defense played nice, and if they want to be elite, all they got to do is start tackling better.
Yeah.
If they want to be elite, just think of all the tackles they missed. And this is my hats off to the little running back, to that little bad running back they got. Man, you know how many times they could have hit this kid in the backfield?
Oh, they didn't tackle. I don't think they tackled him maybe a handful of times with the first guy.
And that just shows you that our defense is getting to the ball, man. Because for you to miss the first tackle
and still get him,
yeah,
and that's encouraging.
Yeah,
I mean just think if they start tackling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. They'd have had them for negative. If they'd have kept going, they'd have had them for negative. I don't know how many yards they wind up with. I think they wind up with close to 300.
Yeah. Let's see. They had 255 rushing. They had only 35.
So that'd have been easier 235-yard game.
All right. I mean, it's only been 2 games. Right now, the defense is 4th in total yards, 274 a game. 3rd in points allowed, 14.5. They are 5th in passing yards, 2nd in sacks, 2nd in yards per play, 4.3. So, I mean, they're top 5 in a lot of categories already.
Man,
they should only get better.
If they tackle, wow.
Yeah, it's good to see they've been investing in defense the last few years in the draft, and it's good to see some of these guys starting to step up and play.
Kayvon got a sack. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, your boy missed 3 tackles that could have been knockouts. Heath missed 3 tackles that could have been knockouts. And then I wish he'd have got an interception to close the game because I almost blew his leg out. And somebody would catch the ball.
Yeah, and Damian Wilson missed that. If he'd had that interception, he'd have been the player of the game.
Oh, man. Boy, that dude there, man. And I've been knocking him. 57?
Yep.
Yeah,
man, he
some thought he wouldn't start this week.
Well, he came to play, man. He came to play.
Yep.
Well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more football, and we're going to talk some wrestling on Hangin' with the Boys.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. With dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Oh, I am craving a Dr. Pepper.
I got some soda.
I asked not for soda. I asked for ice cold, craveable Dr. Pepper. Its flavor is more one of a kind than a four-toed sloth with a thirst for speed. So stop settling for soda and start demanding Dr. Pepper.
I love sloths.
When you crave a Dr. Pepper, nothing else will do. Grab an ice-cold 20-ounce Dr. Pepper today. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
To work this big land, you need equipment with values rooted as deep in Texas soil as you are. Like John Deere compact tractors with a 6-year powertrain warranty and big features that help you work less so you have more time to do what you love. John Deere was first in the Texas fields, and we're proud to be on the field as the official ag and turf equipment of the Dallas Cowboys. Find Texas-sized deals at myjohndeeredealer.com/football. Terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back to the show.
Back.
And Kurt wants to tell you about some drawers.
I'm so good to talk about this right now. Picking number 1 in the draft is a good thing, but picking your wedgies is a bad thing, so never pick again. Reach for Tommy John instead, the innovative men's underwear that has a no wedgies guaranteed. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
What's wrong, Nate?
It's always good to talk underwear with a lovely lady in the room.
What's wrong, Nate?
Nah, man, that's rock. That's rock,
Tommy John
man.
does girls' underwear now.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Should mention that. Then,
They
right?
actually do. And
Do they? I didn't
yeah.
know.
She can pull her mic a little
Turn it this way.
Put it down. Put it down. No. Hey.
Oh,
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why you're the pro.
Nah, not the pro. Not in this room. No, ma'am.
Well, we would like to welcome to the show WWE Superstar Mickie James.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
And Cowboys fan.
Yes.
Huge Cowboys fan.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Nice.
Before we get going, do you remember this?
Oh, I remember that.
Where do I need to put this, Douglas? Right there? Up high?
How about that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
wait, one more.
There we go. What year was that, Kurt? 2011?
2011, probably,
Yeah.
something like that.
We featured Mickie in her pink Romo jersey in the Star Magazine celebrity issue.
Thank you so much for that.
For sure. So tell us how you became a fan.
My dad. My
Okay.
dad is a massive Cowboys fan, and so I indirectly became a Cowboys fan because of him.
Was he from Texas?
No, Virginia.
Really?
Yes.
So you grew up in Redskins country, right?
Right, and my sister is a Redskins fan.
Nate
so.
loves the Redskins.
Do you? That's
He played for the Redskins.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
He refuses to acknowledge that.
Nah, bruh. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Nate was born and raised a Cowboys fan his whole life, and then he had to go play for the Redskins.
No, I got cut from the Redskins. I didn't play for them.
And then we signed him.
Yes.
And then he went on to go to 6 Pro Bowls and 3 Super Bowls and won 3 Super Bowls. So, yeah.
So give us what you're doing, Miss James. I mean, tell us who you are and what are you doing?
Well, most people know me from the wrestling arena. I'm a 6-time WWE Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do country music. I just put out a song with the Ying Yang Twins earlier.
Wait. That's not country music.
Well, it's like country. Is hip hop? Can we say hip hop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Cowboy
a thing.
Troy.
Yeah.
Yes, I love Cowboy Troy. He's a good friend of mine.
Also a big Cowboys fan.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, so
What's the name of the song? Can you say it yet?
Left, Right, Left.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a fun like party rock song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just did a song with Lita Ford. So doing some collaborations.
Oh, there you go. Old school.
Yeah,
I like
she's
that,
killer.
yeah.
Kurt's a rocker.
Yeah.
So
my style's more like country, southern rock, but it kind of like varies. You know, my producer right now, he's more known for like the hip hop and R&B world. So I'm kind of his first country-esque artist. So the stuff with this last album that we've been doing is more culturally, I guess, like he's just kind of like broadening my horizons and stuff and having me work with different people that I wasn't, because I was just writing my own stuff and putting my own stuff out. So it's been cool.
music's in an interesting place because with the invention of iTunes and you don't have to have a label anymore. So there's all
Right.
this cross collaboration between country and pop and rock and rap and everything. Used to, you were in a genre, you were kind of stuck. Now
Right.
it's super interesting how.
Well, there's just so many options out there, and it just kind of like, I think people are just so they just want something different than like what is like. Even when I look at country music, like what is country music? It's not the same as it was now because it's crossed over into so many genres. If you look at like the Taylor Swifts or whatever, and the collaborations that are done within that, or even Carrie Underwood just did the collaboration with Ludacris, and so. Before that, what was the big collab in the country music world was what Tim McGraw and Nelly.
Yeah.
And I really hadn't heard of like a huge, massive collaboration since then, since Carrie's. So, yeah, it's cool.
That is cool. So what are some of the names you threw out? Wrestling names?
Who that? Well, no. I'm just.
Come on,
I'm
Nate.
trying to figure out who Miss James is, man.
We're gonna get into how
So
she
you
got into
married,
wrestling.
or you?
I am married. I have a little boy.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he'll be 4 at the end of the month.
So do he realize what his mother does?
No, he's way more into like Thomas the Train.
Right.
That's way more cooler than me.
when this is great here. So do you ever wrestle the little one, the little 4-year-old? Do y'all ever?
More like play tickle fight stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. See, I want to find out who Miss James is. See, you want to find out who Nate is. I want to find out who Miss James is.
I know who Nate is. I was gonna relate this.
You can't do that.
I was gonna.
Excuse me. So Miss James. So
he did this to us yesterday.
What's your schedule? What's your schedule?
I was usually fly home on Tuesdays, and then I fly back out on Fridays.
Right. And so give us where y'all been. Give us, hard hitters with everywhere you've been and what you've done.
All over the world.
No. This past week.
Just this week.
Yes, ma'am.
We started in McAllen, Texas. Mm-hmm. So I flew into McAllen, Texas on Friday.
Right. Who did you wrestle?
I managed.
Oh, you managed this.
Yes,
okay,
Alexa Bliss against Ronda Rousey.
Okay, cool.
So
cool.
It was myself and Victoria Fox.
Right.
We managed our friend Alexa because we're a big evil team right now.
Right.
And against Ronda Rousey, which is really cool to have Ronda cross over and come into, and she's the Raw Women's Champion at the moment, which is amazing.
Right. Okay.
I mean, not amazing for me because I want to beat her, but
right.
I really have to figure out that. But so then we did that on Friday. Mm-hmm. So I pretty much fly into town, and I think I got in at 10:30.
Okay.
Find the closest gym. So then I'll go to Starbucks, go to the gym, and then go to the show, and then we do my job.
So then Friday, then you done nothing Saturday, nothing.
I'm a night driver, so I prefer to drive at night. So then we drove to Corpus Christi.
Okay.
So I drove to Corpus Christi and wake up, do the same thing, get up, have breakfast.
So who did y'all? Same people?
We did the same type of match. It was a different match per se, but it was the same billing.
Right.
Against Ronda, and then we drove on to San Antonio.
Okay.
To do Hell in the Cell. It was pay-per-view on Sunday.
Right, and so now where was this at? Was this at the Alamo Dome, or is it the new Spurs place, or did y'all have?
It wasn't the Alamo Dome.
It was the auditorium.
No. It's the big arena. Not the American Airlines. That's here.
Yeah.
Toyota Center down there.
Ooh, I should look on my schedule and find why is the
Wasn't
name
Alamo
escaping
Dome,
me.
right?
It wasn't the Alamo Dome, though. We have done the Alamo Dome before.
Right.
Did that and then drove 4 hours or whatever here to Dallas.
Right.
And did the show at the American Airlines Center last night.
Right.
And then I'll flow home. And then next week, I fly out on Friday to Montana. And we do shows. I'm not sure what the card is yet or what I'm doing, but I know we do a show in Billings, Montana. And I forget where the other bit is in Montana. And then we have to take a charter flight to Colorado. And then we have a show on Sunday in Colorado.
Jeez.
And then do TV on Monday. And then fly home on Tuesday.
Okay, my next question here is, do y'all do cage matches or y'all? Yeah. So when the last cage match you was in?
It was at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
We did the first ever women's Elimination Chamber match,
right? Wow.
Which is more than just the standard cage. The standard cage is 18 feet tall above the ring. The chamber has pods, so in each turnbuckle or each what would be the turnbuckle is a person, and then after so much time limit that gets raised and that opponent will come out.
Wow.
So it starts with 2 people. So it's usually 6 people in the match. So it'll start with the 2 people in the center, and then after X amount of time, 5 minutes or whatever, the door will raise, that person comes out, and then all the way down to...
Let me ask you this. So do you ever get so hyped to when they raise it, you go in ahead of time sometimes?
I can't go through the cage. I want to sometimes, but I dove off the top of the pod on the cage.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
That's pretty neat right there. That's pretty neat. Do you guys have any questions?
You did this to us yesterday. You took over the show yesterday. But you were mean yesterday.
But I wanted
to
know. I wanted to get to know her.
I appreciate that.
That's why I'm sitting here. That's why I notice I asked no question when you first came in. I just kind of looked because I like to save my questions.
I know you made me nervous.
Yeah,
me too. That's why I was
like to save
"Oh,
my questions for the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nate's been using that soft voice.
No. Do you have any questions?
Well, I'm amazed that I didn't realize you did it that many nights back to back and so on.
Right.
The physical toll, it's got to be. I mean, you've been doing this a while. I mean, is it?
How many years?
November will be 20 years.
Wow.
Since I first started, my first day I stepped into a wrestling ring and started training.
I've seen Nate walk around in here with his bad knees and all that. It's impressive that you guys can still do this so long.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 200 and some days out of the year on the road because we don't have like off seasons or anything. We have a few days at home. But I've been really blessed that I've not had any serious injuries. I mean,
Cool.
How'd you get into wrestling? That's not like something you just go, this is really easy to get into.
No,
did you?
I didn't. So I went to a wrestling school, but I wasn't even aware of the fact that there was such a thing as a wrestling school. I just thought that they found these people like
Wandering
on the circus. Like these
wandering around.
Because when I was a fan of wrestling, and even when I first got into the business, I was still a fan, but it was very much like that was like the Attitude Era with The Rock and the Stone Cold and like these overtop personalities. But watching it as a kid, I was a Macho Man fan and like, and
who you ever knew
Ric
Dusty
Flair.
Rose?
I loved
Dusty Rose. I met him in person. When I met him,
such a genuine soul.
Oh man, good dude.
So sweet, yeah.
Who were your top? Give us like your top 3 or 5 favorites
of all time.
Growing up, yeah.
Oh, growing up was definitely number 1 was Macho Man.
Okay.
He was my favorite, but because his character and his personality and like it was just so over the top and extreme. It's just I loved it. His promos, the way he would talk, and the things. It was so outlandish, and he could talk about.
Oh yeah.
He could talk about macaroni and cheese for a half an hour, and I would just be like. So Macho Man, Ric Flair. I love Hulk Hogan, but as a child I wasn't a Hulk Hogan fan. I was like, oh, I like the bad guys.
Yeah, Rocky III biased everybody against Hulk Hogan.
That's Douglas.
That's Douglas. That's the voice. Yeah.
That's not God talking.
I love Hulk
Douglas.
now. Yeah, I love Hulk, but like as a child,
growing up, he wasn't.
I was like, I don't like him.
Nah, Ric Flair with his group was awesome.
Yeah. I also loved the Rock and Roll Express and the Freebirds and
the Freebirds, man.
Yeah.
I think the Freebird was that. No, that wasn't the right move.
P.S. Michael Hayes
Yeah.
and Terry Gordy. Who was Rock and Roll Express?
That was Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were more like, Georgia Championship Wrestling, NWA kind of stuff. That was
Yeah. That's who they were.
Because I'm from Louisiana, and we would get Mid-South Wrestling. So I was telling them before you came on, we get like Junkyard Dog and the Freebirds and all that, the Grappler. But then when cable came around, we started getting WWE like on Saturday nights, and that's when like Bob Backlund, and Andre, and Gorilla Monsoon,
Did
and
you
all
see
those
the
guys.
30 for 30 or what it was, the special they did on Andre?
I did not. I heard it was awesome.
It was incredible. It was
Did you see
so
it?
good.
Couldn't he drink like 100 beers or
it's
something?
amazing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I'm like from Florida, so if it didn't come through Gordon Soley and all of that, we consider them real wrestlers. So when I got out of here and heard about what's these brothers, the Von Erichs.
Oh yeah,
this
is Von Erich.
When I heard about the Von Erichs, they can't beat the Briscoe brothers. They can't beat the Funk brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would think. Like, I don't know. So hey, but we all had our different areas of what we.
For sure. I trained with Dory Funk for a little bit.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
funny. Yeah,
Wow.
and I love Terry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, them Funk brothers in Briscoe, they used to go at it.
Yeah.
They used to go at it, man. Gordon Soley was our announcer, and Dusty Rhodes used to come to town.
Everybody loved Dusty Rhodes.
The dream, baby.
His son's a huge Cowboys fan, and he wrestles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gold
Wow.
Dust.
Gold Dust.
Yeah,
And
big
his
Cowboys fan.
his youngest son, Cody, just won the NWA World's Championship, which the NWA, I don't know, Billy Corgan just bought.
Yeah.
So
Really?
yeah, so he just won that. But Cody is a wrestler too, so it's like, and he just won the belt that his father pretty much.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
yeah.
So what was your athletic background that led to wrestling?
Well, I was a wrestling fan. My athletic background was more I rode horses all my life. So that's what
tough.
I did. Yeah, it's
Walt
very
Garrison.
tough. Yeah. So I don't know how many people consider that as a sport or whatever, but I would have to ride like 5 horses a day.
If race car driving is a sport and
bowl-
golf is
and
a
bowling.
sport and bowling
I
is
think
a
it's
sport,
a sport.
horse is a sport.
It was
Believe
definitely
that.
tough.
So you grew up a wrestling fan, but how did you how old were you when you said I want to do this for a living? And what made you want to do that?
I think I was just in love and fascinated with the sport, and not just the sport, but also like the theatrics behind it of like the creating this character or like developing this character and then making that and becoming that person when the camera's on and then having to turn it on. Like I'm fascinated by that whole era of it, of like that creative side of it. But it was after I was out of high school and I was kind of like had little direction, and I was working at a bar, and my friends all knew what a massive wrestling fan I was. And then indirectly, another buddy of mine suggested his friend had a school up near DC, which was like 2 hours from my house because I'm from Richmond area. And so I went up and I checked it out and I signed up that day. And from that day, I was like, I want this. This is what I want to do with my life. This is what I want to do. And it took me 7 years of like grinding and trying to get noticed before they even hired me. And then another 3 years in their developmental, which is like, you know, the undercard or like the AA team or whatever. They kind of tuck you away in Louisville, and had to move there and did that for 3 years before I debuted on TV. So it was a long road, but It was amazing. And I just love it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you know, that wrestling, because I when I played for the Cowboys, we went somewhere and I watched them. You know, I watched them prepare and get out. You know, and we had this big cage match and all these wrestlers and stuff. And I'm just sitting there looking, man. And they discussing, okay, we're gonna go ahead, but you're gonna have to have an eventual winner now.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I'm looking, I was like, wow. And just to go there, and man, it was like a football game. 40, 50,000 people.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, it ain't no control over these people.
No.
Like in a football game, you punt the ball, you change sides, then it's a break, the fans break. But once these two components walk out, and especially if they're high-dollar component,
yeah, it's game on.
I mean, I'm like, man, I had to go back to the back to stop my ears from ringing because the cheering never stopped.
Right.
It never stopped. I'm like, oh, man.
WrestleMania, when it was at the stadium, was one of the cool. Were you there?
I wasn't. I was here in Dallas, but I wasn't a part of WrestleMania that year.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever been around. Just seeing 40, 50-year-old men act like they're 12 years old, and just the theatrics and like,
man, it's
so crazy.
The cheering never stops. The cheering that once these guys walked out there, and as long as they was out there, the cheering never stopped. I mean, how do you holler that long? I mean, you can't even holler that long at a concert.
Right.
You know, I'd have been to some with Luther Vandross with just number of women out there, and they didn't holler as long as they holler for these two. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Douglas.
Yes.
We still have Phil?
Oh, that's a good question. Are you there?
I am here.
Phil, what's up, man? You got a wrestling question today?
Man, did I call at the right time or did I call at the right time?
Well, I don't know. What's your question, and we'll tell you.
Well, first of all, my wrestling, my fandom in wrestling was from another era, guys. So, Shannon, this was the pre-Skandar Akbar era. Okay?
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you guys remember him and Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Sergeant Slaughter.
Yep. Remember Sergeant Slaughter? Well, check this out. I'm talking late 50s, Shannon, early 60s, when they used to have wrestling open air at Clark Field in Lafayette. And we had this. There was some Canadian brothers, the Bajon brothers.
Were they Canadian or were they Cajun?
Well, they were from Nova Scotia, but they came down.
Canada?
Yeah, they came down here. They were tag team, okay. But
they
this
dress
was
like
the era
Mounties?
of Mickey Sharp and the Bajon brothers and Gorgeous George. That era. I don't know if you remember those guys, but it was a treat because it was like the announcer would even get in on way back when on the shenanigans. But I didn't know. I was going to ask her if she, went back and watched some old video, if you remember any of these guys from that era or not.
I remember some. Of course, I know Gorgeous George. We had to study tape and go back and watch eras of wrestling, like especially. I didn't see a lot of that stuff until I was actually in developmental because they had tape, like libraries of tape to go back and watch of different, genres. Because even what's old is new again. You can reinvent stuff or like use
Sleeper.
I got one funny story for you, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, the announcer was.
All right, thank you.
What's that?
Yeah, we heard you. Go ahead on.
You cut out.
You cut out on us.
Anyway, he was.
What was the announcer name? We missed that part.
Bill Corcoran.
Okay.
Yeah, he was announcing the main card, and it was Jean Valjean was wrestling Mickey Sharp, and Mickey Sharp had come out with a cape and the pink leotards and all that, and Bill Corkin's job, I guess, was to incite him or something, and he goes, over in this corner, the Canadian great Jean Valjean, and then over in the right corner, Pink Panties Cynthia.
Oh, my God.
And Sharp would take off after him, and the announcer would jump over the turnbuckles, crawl under the ring, and the next thing you know, he's out in center field at Clark Field, and Mickey's chasing him all over the outfield at the baseball park, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
those were the days.
Thanks
Anyway,
for the
that's
call,
what I had.
Phil. Talk to you later. Phil's one of our regulars. He's a
That's
good
great.
boy from Louisiana. So let's take another quick break. And when we come back, 888-855-2297, we'll talk some more wrestling with Mickie James on the Hangin' with the Boys.
Cowboys fans know that the second best of anything simply won't cut it, and your skincare should be no different. A longtime locker room favorite of the players and the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas-based Jack Black is the #1 best-selling men's skincare brand in the country because we make products that help guys look, smell, and feel better. Visit GetJackBlack.com/Cowboys to get $10 off your first order of $50 or more. Jack Black. Look good, smell good, feel good. Official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay, and of course with yours truly, me, Brian Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. The dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Back hanging with the boys and lady today. Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker 4 Jack Black faves plus a full-size lip balm for just $10 with free shipping. Mickey, that's with free shipping.
Oh, thank you.
At getjackblack.com, use the code word Cowboys. What's your favorite venue that you've ever wrestled in?
Oh, the Tokyo Dome was amazing. Yeah, we've done some really killer ones, and obviously Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
yeah,
just because it's
the
iconic.
nostalgia of
I
just.
tell people, man, that it's some places, you know, I've never been there, but I just want to go and walk around. I don't need no crowd, no nothing. I just want to go say, hey, I've been in there, you know.
Just take the tour.
Man, I played in, believe it or not, I played in Yankee Stadium, a football game.
Did you?
A college football game,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Grambling versus Florida A&M is like just being in Yankee Stadium. That was pretty neat.
Right.
You know.
You played in Japan too. Did you play in Japan?
Yeah.
Is that a weird, cool experience?
No, because I kind of went to practice and went back to my room, you know, because the language.
You didn't get to go out and enjoy.
The language, and then you bigger than everybody, and then, you know, you like being a sumo wrestler, you know, you odd guy. So
Yeah.
What's your favorite match that you've been in?
Ooh, that's tough. I would say that Elimination Chamber match was pretty amazing to be in. I did a cage match with Victoria, Lisa Marie. She's Tara at that point. I did a cage match with her, which was pretty amazing. Most people know my WrestleMania match against Trish Stratus was pretty incredible. And that for me, that was my first WrestleMania match, and I won the championship for the first time. So that holds like a very special place in my heart. I I guess Lita's retirement match was really special to me just because she was so intricate on my career of like helping me get there in the first place. So it was kind of bittersweet to have her last match. And I'm getting ready to wrestle her again. We're getting ready to have the first ever all-girls pay-per-view, Evolution.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
When is that?
October 28th.
Where's that at?
In Nassau Coliseum. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
Who's your favorite person that you've ever worked with? Sorry, I'm asking all these. All these
and
heaters.
it's hard because then you have to pick one, and it's hard to pick one.
And I'm putting you right on the spot. You can just tell me, Shannon. I don't want to answer that question.
No, because I've loved everyone I've worked with for different reasons, and we've been able to tell different types of stories.
That's why he ain't married.
I know.
You tell all the girls, I love you for a different reason.
So terrible. So terrible.
That's so funny. You know what? I'm going to say Melina. Because Melina and we have a history of like, we didn't always get along, but when we'd go out there, we just had such amazing chemistry. And even when we weren't on the best of terms, like we just would apologize later or not apologize whether we were talking or not that day. But we always we just had amazing chemistry, and she was so fiery and so different, like that Latino fire. And she was doing very innovative stuff, and kind of breaking the mold for herself, and for women, I think, and being very different. So yeah, I had a lot of fun working with her.
I've got a request.
Yeah.
Sing your favorite hook a cappella from your new record.
Wow. Putting her on the spot, Douglas.
Dang.
Oh, okay.
This is a good promotion opportunity.
It is. Whatever happened to that girl? Stars in her eyes and a wild imagination. Don't see her around here anymore. She danced among the stars and dreams about forever.
Yeah. Nice. Wow.
Man.
Wow. And I thought on the DCC podcast studio when they sang that day, that was good. That was amazing.
Yeah, you're sweet.
Wow.
You got some soul.
So funny.
Put me on the spot there.
No, don't worry about it. I'm surprised our boss ain't tried to run down here and get on our show.
Right, Derek?
Yeah.
Snake. I'm sure. So Derek is our boss, and he's on his own podcast, and we always ask him to help us out, fill in every once in a while. He'll never do it. Training camp this year, Omar Epps was out at camp, and he came on the show with us, and Derek's like, I'm on the show. I'm like, you should probably ask the host, which is me, and he's like, no, I'm on the show. So
he's just telling you.
Yeah. So he became Snake Eagleton.
Yeah. Now we're tonight. If you get time, you and some of your friends are welcome to the Concrete Cowboy. We do a podcast out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
If you want to come and just chill, and kick it, I think Snake would be. I mean, Derek Eagleton would be out there. So I'm serious. 6 to 7 is just right across the street.
Yep.
Concrete Cowboy.
Oh, nice.
That's a good promotion, Nate.
Yeah.
I like what you did there.
Nate carries the mic around and puts people on the spot in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any questions and stuff like that,
Yeah, come out to Concrete. You ever gonna make it out to a show, Kurt?
I hope
When are you
so.
gonna get in the mix?
I haven't been invited to be
Oh.
in the mix.
I thought they
Wow. Now you put yourself on the spot. See?
I did. Nick sets the lineup, so I'll get on to Nick about
Nick
it.
who?
Eatman.
Oh my God! I thought you were the man.
No, Nick. That's Nick.
I thought they put all the names in a hat and randomly pulled them.
They put them in a hat, and Nick randomly pulled them out of his head.
Wow.
So before we get out of here,
Something.
who was when you were growing up watching football? How old were you when you got into football?
I was maybe 10, 12, something like that.
Who were your favorite players growing up?
Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman, I think. Those were the two.
Yeah.
We know a guy that knows those guys.
Oh, does he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He
My
may-
dad would freak out right now.
Would he?
I told you, when I did the tour of the stadium, I was like, my dad would be losing his mind right now.
DallasCowboys.com.
Yeah.
Just tell your dad, pod up. We on it.
Here we are.
Wait.
Hi, Daddy.
Pod up. Yeah.
When are you going to come to a game?
I was going to say,
I
when
know.
we did this, you hadn't been to a game yet. I was going to ask you.
I
if you'd
know.
been to
I'm
one.
always working when you guys are playing. It's not fair.
Last time she was in town, we were able to finally get her to the actual stadium. We just didn't have a
Got
game
that
that
far.
day.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
So we got a
It's
tour of
progress.
the stadium. This time she's in town, we're going to give her a tour of the Star, get her on the show. So maybe next time we can.
All right.
I'm just going to have to take the day off, but we don't have to tell my boss that.
Okay, we won't.
And then I'll bring my dad.
Okay, that
Yeah.
works.
Yes.
We'll do that.
It'll be a great day.
It will be an awesome day.
And I'll just call in sick.
Can you do that?
No.
And, you know, I tell people, isn't it amazing, you know, how athletes are held to a different standard? And, you know, normally it used to be, you know, it was never a holiday. You know, we never even discussed holidays. You know, like especially with Jimmy, it's like, hey, we'll see you tomorrow, practice tomorrow. And it'd be like, hey, coach, it's Christmas Eve. Yeah, it is. Practice tomorrow.
Right.
You know.
We go on the road the day after Christmas.
Yeah,
and we
you
do a
don't-
tour the day after Christmas.
Yeah, and it becomes to the point where you don't really even think about it no more. When you first ever, you know, when you first that happens to you, you be like, wow. But then after about 2 or 3 times, it's like, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know.
And the Cowboys play Thanksgiving every year.
I know.
I'm telling you, man. That's when you had to win that game so you could party up hard.
Right.
make up for it.
Yeah. Wow, man. So when you see guys like him coming at you,
What does that mean?
you know, do you? No,
Guys like me, bald guys.
no, guys like it, you just want to take him down sometimes.
Just double leg them.
Yeah.
I predicted
With
that.
the bald head and the beard. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that'll be nice, man. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Because he's kind of like a baby Iron Sheik to me. You know what I'm saying?
So wrong.
I had to set that up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just glad you got jokes today and you're not being mean.
Nah. Let me ask you this question here.
Uh-oh. Now don't be mean to her if she gives you the wrong answer.
No. She gonna give me the right answer.
Okay.
When you are working with someone new, and you try and y'all are going into a show together, and you're wrestling and your partner's wrestling, but she's new to the game, do you give her a couple of matches to get into the groove of what's going on and to learn the ins and outs? Do you give her that time or you don't?
Oh, of course. And you're like, you have to, you know, take that moment to actually like, the idea is, especially for someone like me, is to help mold that person so that way they can hopefully not take my spot, but get to that position where we're equals, you know, and you have to make them look as good as you out there.
Thank you. Say no more. You're welcome. Let's go. It's how you do it.
Are you gonna be in a good mood again tomorrow? Now
I'm
that
Concrete Cowboy. Now I'm moving on. I'm Concrete Cowboy.
Now that someone backed you up,
I'm Concrete Cowboy. Go over to Cane's and eat you some chicken wings.
Now that another pro athlete backed you up, are you gonna be okay tomorrow?
No, I'm just saying. You're not here tomorrow. Me and this man.
I'm not here tomorrow. I'm out. So you guys have fun with it.
See, when you're a non-athlete, how you can just get off? You know, the rest of the athletes don't get off.
Thanks for showing up.
All right, baby Iron Sheik. The baby Iron Sheik.
Is that my new nickname? Mickey, thank you so much for stopping by the show and hanging out.
It's amazing.
This was awesome. Kurt, thanks for showing up. Nate, thanks for bringing it. Douglas, thanks for pushing the buttons.
Come on, you got to get
Kent,
some.
thanks for doing what you do.
Yeah.
And we will be back. Well, I won't. You guys will be back tomorrow on Hanging with the Boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,